how is everybody doing? Wow. What a terrible fucking week. Hey, John, come back to the Daily Show just for the election. It'll be fine. You'll do 1 day a week, it'll be a larf. What could go wrong? Obviously, we were supposed to be doing our shows from Milwaukee for the RNC this week. But because of the attempt on the former president's life, our venue, the venue in which we had planned to do this show, is a theater, which was originally located in the soft perimeter, they called it, security-wise, was shifted, understandably so, to the hard perimeter. They called it the hard perimeter. You really don't want to be in the hard perimeter. It was locked down. They built cages around the theater, and because of that, we felt that we could not logistically put on the theater shows effectively without people. But I do want to say to the city of Milwaukee, to the mayor of Milwaukee, could not have been more accommodating to the show, more gracious to us. We thank you so much. I do hope that we will be able to come back to Milwaukee. We really do want to come back at some point and make up some of the events we had planned, especially our in-dog-cision. We get dogs adopted and people registered to vote. Or it's the other way around. I don't remember. But as always, the biggest slice of praise is reserved for our production team and crew. They turned this ocean liner around on a dime. It is a big production to take a show like this on the road on short notice. Our crack production team and our crew got us back to New York City, rejiggered all the things in the studio to get us ready to do a program this very Tuesday night. It's remarkable work, and I just want to thank the staff. Remarkable! All right, but even though we are not in Milwaukee, last night was night one of the RNC, and obviously, after what happened this weekend, there was a clear theme going in.
Obviously, right now, unity is a theme that we need to be focused on.
I think that we're going to hear a lot of unifying type speeches.
We got to create some unity. The vitriol and the hatred, it needs to stop.
We should bring the temperature down.
Let's turn this moment into a moment that helps us down that path of healing and unity.
Wow, that is Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. He is known as a particularly divisive, or however you want to pronounce that, a divisive figure. So to hear that healing rhetoric coming from Ron Johnson is impressive. I, for one, look forward to hearing his unifying remarks on the convention floor.
Today's Democrat agenda, their policies, are a clear and present danger to America.
I'm sorry. I guess he's what's known as unity in the streets, divisive in the sheets. But to be fair, and I want to be fair in this new environment, Senator Johnson did not mean to stoke anger. His teleprompter did.
What he wanted loaded in the prompter was that we needed a somber moment in history. We should heed President Trump's call to unite, to be strong, to be determined. We must heal. He said, I don't know how the other one got in there and screwed up the teleprompter. But again, he went ahead and read it.
What a douchebag! Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. That was in my teleprompter. I apologize. Rogue teleprompters weren't the only ones having trouble adjusting to the Republicans' new tone. One particularly fiery member of Congress struggled mightily as her body rejected the unity theme as though it were transplanted like a monkey heart.
The founding father of the America First movement, Donald John Trump. Make America successful again. Wealthy again. The country we deserve.
She knows she's making that noise, right? Or is that the noise she makes when the interior monologue is going, Marjorie, there's going to be plenty of time to talk about satanic Democrats. Just keep it in. Marjorie, just, this is hard to do. Oh, man. But perhaps the weirdest moment of last night was when the RNC looked like it was turning into the DNC. One of its featured speakers was Amber Rose, founder of the LA Slut Walk and a sex-positive pro-choice internet celebrity.
Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
It's all love. It's love. You just better hope all that love doesn't lead to an ectopic pregnancy, because then... the guys know what I'm talking about. They're feeling that in the old fallopian tubes over there. But the moment that really felt like the DNC had snuck into the RNC was when Sean O'Brien, the president of the Teamsters Union, and apparently Rob Corddry doppelganger, came up to the lectern. Come on, Corddry!
It's an honor to be the first Teamster in our 121-year history to address the Republican National Convention.
The crowd went crazy until he began to tell them what he thinks.
Legal protections that make it safer for workers to get a contract. Trade policies that put American workers first. Labor law must be reformed. Companies fire workers who try to join unions and hide behind toothless laws that are meant to protect working people but are manipulated to benefit corporations.
Where are the cheers on the floor of the convention? Yes, apparently Republicans are pro-worker now and pro-union. I hope somebody tells all the Republican governors who passed right-to-work anti-union laws in their states, and all the Republican-appointed judges who made it easier to break unions, and Donald Trump himself, who helped kill a bill that would have protected unions. They're going to be so embarrassed. It's a hypocrisy. But of course, the main event from last night was the crowning of Donald Trump's MAGA movement heir apparent. No, not that guy. No. There you go. The other dark-haired, bearded dude right in front of that one, J.D. Vance. I got to tell you something, man. That ain't right. It's like for vice president, Donald selected the actor who would be hired to play Don Jr. in the Lifetime movie. It's not right. It's like Don Jr. was the beta version that had to have some kinks worked out. He's the default avatar in the video game, and then Donald Trump Sr. adjusted the pretty eyes and charisma sliders up a little bit. 66 intelligence. And then it was time for Donald Trump's big entrance. The great Lee Greenwood did the honors with a rousing rendition of God Bless the USA.
Is there any doubt who's going to be the next president of the United States? Prayer works. This nation based on faith. Prayer works. Because he was sure, as Donald Trump turned his head just slightly, that the bullet missed him just enough.
You know what? I'm sorry, Lee. We're going to have to skip ahead just a little bit. None of the side patter, if you could. The great Lee Greenwood, introducing Donald Trump. Here we go.
We have believed for so long that God will make some changes in this country. And he's about to make a change in the current administration and send them home. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Joe was wearing a time-release ear salve, for God's sakes.
Help for our veterans, and God bless our military wherever they are in this United States and abroad. There would be no wars.
Ladies
there wasn't
and
any when
gentlemen,
President Trump was
please
president.
welcome the next president of the United States.
They cut him off. Is it possible to bring out another band to play a band off? But then finally, Donald Trump himself arrived, waving to his adoring crowd, and then went to sit down in what can only be described as some sort of chair trap. Oh, what's that? Oh. Well, what is that, a beanbag? What the hell? Meanwhile, back in the back cave, Joe Biden was sitting down with NBC News anchor Lester Holt to answer questions about what he would do to cool our nation's overheated rhetoric.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
How do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? My opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses. Like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, joking about it?
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though.
He's not turning down. He's telling you what the other guy'd been saying. How are you supposed to discuss the temperature of the rhetoric if you're not allowed to mention the rhetoric? It became clear that Biden was ready to turn it down. For everybody but Lester Holt.
Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look, why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told? Where are you on this?
Oh, shit.
Seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Let me ask you something, Lester. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. Who's got two thumbs, Lester? and is about to beat your ass? But of course, this entire debate over rhetoric is happening because of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump over the weekend at a rally in Pennsylvania, which was obviously terrifying and disorienting. And I think I learned that in an emergency, when shit hits the fan in this country, the internet is a great source of information. For instance, within minutes, I found out that this is staged. And then I found out that it was actually an inside job. And then I found out that it was Joe Biden who ordered it. And then I found out that this guy is the shooter. Great job, internet. You did it. Except it turns out that that guy is an Italian football commentator named Marco Violi. Who does, to be fair, look a little shootery. But I can only assume was in Italy sipping Aperol spritzes on the piazza when he got a panicked call from his nonna. And I have to say, and I mean this, and I have a slight confession to make, and I am not proud of this in any way, shape, or form. But I'm following social media during all this to find out who did it, because it's this pattern I feel like we now have in the country when we hear about a horrific event. You're on pins and needles in this sort of reverse demographic lottery to make sure that the psychopathic shooter doesn't belong to one of your teams. You know, you just sit there going, please, no Democrats, no liberals, no progressives. It's like that press your luck game. No Jewy, no Jewy, no Jewy, no Jewy, no Jewy. And we're all doing it. We're all doing it because we have to know what our posture will be on the tragedy. Will it be a haughty, I told you? Or perhaps a circumspect, well, let's not rush to judgment. We shouldn't generalize. And then it ends up being someone we can't even figure out in the first place. A bullied loner white guy, registered Republican, donated to a blue PAC, argued conservative causes, is a dude, but if you flip his picture upside down, kind of looks like an old lady. I don't know what's going on with this guy. It's a jump ball. We don't know yet who's got dibs, who wins, and none of us knows what's going to happen next, other than there will be another tragedy in this country, self-inflicted by us to us. And then we'll have this feeling again. I remember it on 9/11, this disorienting, holy shit, stop the world, I would like to get off feeling. And in that moment, there will be some incredible Americans who, in the midst of it, for some unknown reason, rush towards it and get us back to some sort of equilibrium. And we'll count on those folks to hold us together again. And it does remind us that by a hair's breadth, we dodged a catastrophe. But it was still a tragedy, because one of those first responders lost his life. His name was Corey Comparator. He was a retired fire chief in the area. He had given his life in service to his community, and he died literally shielding his family. He's a reminder that in those moments of crisis, there are helpers, and we can all make a choice to try and be one of those people. Or you can be one of these guys.
In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, an article from Forbes titled, "Will Surviving Gunfire Be Donald Trump's Next Appeal to Black Voters?"
Not